Hi guys, I'm going to take you through mixed number subtraction since that seems to be one of the difficult things to remember. So we're going to start with a problem that has mixed numbers and operation of subtraction. So let's start. So why don't we do something like 11 and 2/3 minus 9 and 7/8. All right, so looking at the problem, when you subtract fractions, we have to make sure they're out of equal parts. So if we look at our denominators are cut into thirds in the first one and eighths in the second one. And we need something that's common between the two of them. So to find common denominators, the best thing to do is find a common multiple. So just multiply the numbers together and we get the common multiple of 24. So since I have 24ths, I'm going to have to cut the thirds into 24ths and the eighths into 24ths. So to do that, I'm just going to find equivalent fractions. So my 11 and 2/3 is going to become something out of 24. So I'm going to keep the whole part because the 11 wholes will stay. But the thirds are going to be broken into 24ths, and we're just going to find a common denominator. So 2/3 is equivalent to how many 24ths? So to do that, we have to multiply to figure out the factor that 3 is multiplied by to get 24, and that's 8. So we have to follow that pattern and multiply that numerator by 8 as well. So 2 times 8 turns out to be 16. So 2/3 is equivalent to 16 24ths. And we're going to do that same process over again for our 9 and 7/8. So again, we're going to keep that 9 as our whole, and we're going to change our eighths to 24ths, finding common denominator. But we have to figure out the factor that's being multiplied by 8 to get 24, and that's a factor of 3. So since we're multiplying the denominator by 3, we're going to multiply that numerator by 3 as well. So therefore, we get 7 times 3 in our numerator, which is 21. So 7/8 is equivalent to 21 24ths. So since we're still subtracting, so we're just still going to have that subtraction out there, we're going to have to look at our pieces now. So we look at 11 and 16 24ths. Subtracting by 9 and, 21 24ths. We have to look at to see what's happening. We have 21 parts that we're trying to take away from 16. We can't do that. So we have to remember our subtraction skills and that we have to borrow from the whole amounts. So if we have 11 whole amounts on our first fraction, we can borrow one of those wholes to make it 10, as long as we cut that whole that we borrowed into the equal pieces of 24. So if I already have 16 pieces, then I'm going to have to add the new 24 parts to it so that I have 10 wholes and now how many pieces that are in the size of 24ths. And to simplify that, we would have 10 and 16 and 24 make, 40? So we have 40 24ths. So now when we try to subtract, and we're going to keep our second mixed number exactly the same because we're not going to change that. It's already in the common denominator. And when we look now, we can actually take 21 from a 40. So we're going to do that. So 21 minus 40 leaves me 19 pieces in the size of 24ths. And now we can subtract our whole amount. So 10 minus 9 leaves me 1. So I do have 1 in 19 24ths. If we look at our fractional part of our mixed number, there are no common factors between 19 and 24. So we know that that fraction is in simplest terms. So in the end, our final solution between our subtraction would be our 11 and 2/3 minus our 9 and 7/8 through the whole process turns out to be 1 in 19 24ths. Hope that helps, and check out more videos to come.